Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Piotrowski. I am a production designer. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some challenges that you come across when trying to design something or trying to create something. That a lot of times the solution is not going to be there. And you're going to have to get creative, and you're going to have to get clever, and you're going to have to make your own solution. So I want to do a demonstration of one of those types of situations that I got into that I had to create my own solution. This goes back to earlier this year. Obviously, we're all under quarantine, and I wanted to come back to a festival, a little short film event that I participate in, that I used to participate in yearly, and I wanted to come back to it. And because of the quarantine, I found that this would be a year I could possibly do it because everybody would be on the same playing field, because we had rules that we couldn't shoot outside of our homes and couldn't have actors, unless they lived with you already. So it presented a whole bunch of challenges that were actually like a gateway to being able to do it. So I wanted to make a film, and it's a 5-minute film, and I wanted to skirt around not being able to shoot people and shoot people, and I enlisted my buddy Nathan Shelton, and he wrote a screenplay for us, and he recorded a bunch of footage of himself as one of our characters. Now, he lives in Chicago. I live in Florida. Obviously, we're staying at home. We're locked down, so we're in Florida. He's in Chicago. How are we going to make this come together? Well, he could shoot some footage, and he could send it to me via email, and then I could edit that in. I wanted to take it a little step further, and I wanted to design a really cool set. And I didn't just want to have participation, I wanted to have it like fully integrated participation. So what we wanted to do was I ended up with 6, but I actually wanted more televisions, CRT televisions, cathode ray tube, old. I wanted them, this is what I grew up with. I wanted to have CRT televisions to light my actor's face. I wanted both of our actresses to be able to play with an actual VHS tape and use a VCR and have the light from the video bouncing off their faces, playing with it. I wanted that from a design point of view. And I searched YouTube. I searched forums, like all sorts of things, and nobody would answer that question. The question I had was, how do you get digital video onto a VHS cassette? And I didn't want to fake it. I wanted it to really be on that cassette so that they could play with the tape and, be able to press fast forward and rewind, and the icons would show up on the television and all that. The internet seems vast until you ask it a very specific question. And I could not find a solution. I found some that got close, but nothing that was telling me, how do I record something on a modern day camera and put it on a VHS tape? Now, there was solutions where you can take a VHS camcorder and you can shoot, your screen, or you could shoot the footage on that and all that, but that's not what I wanted to do. Very hard to find batteries for old VHS recorders, camcorders. Very hard to find batteries, and especially when you're shooting a 48-hour filmmaking competition, you're not going to be able to find that. I ended up basically piecing together my knowledge from back when I used to set up VCRs and CRTs, and which it wasn't that long ago, believe it or not. It's only 15 years ago, maybe, that this was the standard. DVD players, yeah, within the last 20 years, but but I took that knowledge that I already had and then just started thinking and then started testing. And I went through a lot of failures before I came to the right solution. And I kind of came to the right solution by happenstance because I was using an older VCR. Now, these VCRs are new by VCR standards. These are probably 15 years old, maybe 10. The one I was using was probably 25 years old. And so it didn't have any of the protections. So let me just get into what we ended up doing. Basically, I had my buddy Nathan shoot footage of himself on a modern day DSLR mirrorless camera. And he emailed me the footage. I took the footage and I put it on a hard drive. And this could be a thumb drive or a full-on external hard drive, whatever, even an SD card with a USB reader. You just need something that has USB out. So I put the footage on there, and I need, for this project, I need a hard drive of some kind, a Blu-ray player that can read USB. Now, this is a 2018 or later, or earlier, Blu-ray player from LG. I like the LG ones, not a paid advertisement. I like the LG ones because they tend to read my hard drives. I've had a lot of other ones that did not read the hard drive, or it'll be frozen and stiff, even newer ones. So I like the LG ones. Their USB readers are very good. This handles a 4 terabyte hard drive, so very good. So you need that. You need one VCR. You don't need two. You don't want to get a DVD VCR combo. Those have copyright protection between them. So you don't want to get that. You want to get the just genericest VCR you can get. You need a CRT TV, and that's mainly so you can see the framing, because everything's shot in widescreen now. But this is 4:3 that this TV is putting out. So you need something to see it on, and it's good to see how the color works and all the mistakes that go along with VHS, tracking lines and the stop play and all that, SLP and time code and all that kind of fun stuff, which looks good and sells the idea of VHS. It's better than keying in a green screen. I did not want to do that. I didn't want to be keying in footage onto these monitors. A, it's time consuming. B, it just doesn't look as authentic. So that's what I wanted to create. So you need that. You also need an HDMI to AV or composite connector. And they do exist. You can get them at Walmart. Or any electronic store or Amazon. I had to get it at Walmart because the time was a factor. You also need an RF adapter. An RF adapter takes it from AV or composite cable and turns it into coax. The old stuff. So you need that. You need 2 coax cables, 1 HDMI cable, and 1 AV or composite cable. I'm going to show some close-ups of that later, but I'm going to show you my little demonstration here first. So right now on the Blu-ray player, I have the video that my friend Nathan shot, and I have it queued up and paused on this screen. Like I said, I love the way, and it's hard to tell in here, but I love the way that light reacts with your skin coming from a CRT TV. It's a great light, just a light in general. I mean, I have lights all over here. I have probably 9 lights right now on me, including this. And this, you'll see as I press play, this puts out a really interesting, cool light. All right, so in the Blu-ray player, I have queued up the footage that my friend Nathan shot. In the VCR, I'm just going to do this real quick. Look, when I press eject, it says eject on the screen. So in the VCR, I have the cassette tape. I'm going to put it back in there. I have all this hooked up, and I'll show some pictures of how this is hooked up. But So it's ready to go. So all I need to do is press record on the VCR. It's starting to record, and you can listen to that. Look how horrible that is. I got these VCRs out of a dilapidated house. This TV has been sitting in a field for 6 months, and I pulled it out, and it works fine. So I've got my VHS recording, and I'm going to press play on my content, and here's Nathan. So I've got VHS recording, Nathan playing from the Blu-ray player, which is actually from the hard drive to the Blu-ray player, to the HDMI to composite, to the composite to coax, which is an RF adapter, and then that coax is going to the VCR, and from the VCR is going to the TV via coax. Both of those are coax on the back. And all that, just so that we can see what we're doing. We want to be able to see the framing, because, now, here's an interesting problem that I had. All right, it didn't start off playing like this. It started off playing something like that. Yeah. So, boom. So you can see we had bars here. Now Nathan did me the favor of recording this in 4:3. But when I played it back on the Blu-ray player, it wants the widescreen. You know, it's looking for that, so it squeezed it instead. But if you go into your menu, you can find the option to change to full screen. It's just something, it's an extra little nicety that will make it look real. All right? So I'm just recording. I'm recording this whole time live, what we're doing. I've got the VCR going. I've got the Blu-ray player playing. So now I'm going to press pause on the Blu-ray player. Might as well. And I'm going to press stop on the VHS. So let's eject it. Now what I did is, the reason why there are two VCRs here is because I wanted to make it easy for me to just play it back. When I'm recording, I have to do it in such a way that I really can't see a playback from the VCR. So I just hooked up two VCRs, and it's on a different input, which is game. Oh, quit it. There we go. All right. So, game. Now, let's press rewind on our cassette tape. And listen to this. Horrible. These are quality VCRs. All right. So, now we'll press play. Now, I love the blue screen. I love the static. I love the tracking lines. Here we are. We were paused on our video. And then here in just a moment, hopefully, I don't know how far I was. I luckily do have a working remote for these VCRs. So I can actually fast forward. There we go. And I can actually fast forward and control it from the remote, or I can do it on the actual headset on camera for the film. And that's what I wanted. My daughter was in this film. She was still 6. She had just turned 6 at the time. And I wanted her to be able to use a VCR. And she's not a kid who's grown up with a VCR. So we made it. She was able to push the tape in, and we could see the reflections on her face. And she could press stop. She could press play. My wife, when she had to do her action, she could rewind. She could fast forward. She could search through the tape. And it was all legit and real. And you could see everything that I did there was recorded to the tape. But I just like the authenticity of it. I think that being able to put something on VHS without having a camcorder, because I couldn't ship a camcorder up to Nathan for him to record, but he has lots of cameras. We have cameras on our phones. You could, in theory, take a footage on your phone, text it to somebody, and then put it to VHS using this system. So this is my solution, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. Now I'm going to show you a few clips from the movie, and then I'm going to show you some pictures of how this all is actually wired. And that is my little tip for anybody that's in production design and you want something unique. And obviously there's very little information about it online these days. But if you want something unique and you want a cool light source, like I said, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I love the way VHS looks. See, we've got the tracking lines brought us to the old video screen that I had recorded previous to this, because I did just record that live. So these are some old videos of mine. So I've rambled on enough. I want to say to everyone, keep making. Let's see if I can even turn the TV off. There we go. Keep making. Just keep making. And if you can't find the solution, you're going to have to create one. Just work through it. Work through it. And I hope that this solution was helpful to you guys. Other than that, enjoy the fair. Thanks.
All right. Here we are, almost at sundown. On Saturday, we have some tiki torches going to keep the bugs out of the set. And it's actually working pretty well. So this is our beautiful set with a tarp over the top. And I've got my jib set up for the first shots. Let's see, hope that it goes well. There's our dental chair, and our TVs are ready to rock. VHS tapes are ready to rock. Got my lights on. Got the exit hatch there. Got my grid, sort of. It's all coming together, and we're ready to shoot with our little arsenal there. It's coming along. But I wanted to, this is pretty much about 10 minutes before filming. And we'll be ready to go. I don't have the opportunity to do very much behind the scenes because I'm going to be filming it, and my wife and daughter are going to be acting in it. So, we're ready. Thanks.